The book community started as a place for women to talk about all of the books they love.
And that's what initially inspired us to start making videos.
But it's been 2 years.
And we've still never taken a direct recommendation from any of the girls we follow.
So we decided to finally do what this community is made for
And let some of our favorite book experts pick our TBR.
The first book that we're reading was recommended by Bookishly Brit. We love her. We've been following her for a really long time. And she's also a fellow Texan. And I'm actually super excited because the book she recommended is...
I really liked The Night and the Moth. I felt like it had a really cool, unique magic system. Like I hadn't read anything like that before. And then it had a really lovable side character that I got really attached to. And he was always cracking jokes and like making me laugh. But then he also made me cry. I just really love a little romantasy that can do both.
We're actually on our way to a 5 Seconds of Summer concert right now. So we have the audiobook and we're going to start listening to it. And then we're going to party hardy for the Being Camino and the 5 Seconds of Summer. We're going to start listening. We are 30% through The Night and the Moth.
It follows Sybil, who is a diviner, which is basically like an oracle. She's committed to 10 years at this cathedral to be a diviner. But as her 10 years comes to a close, her fellow diviners start disappearing one by one.
And to find them, she has to team up with this knight from the kingdom who, what's his name? Roderick?
Terrible name, by the way.
name's-
Roderick
I wanna say-
Malefunctious.
Malefunctious? I don't
What
think
is
that's
it?
right.
Malantakis?
I don't know. Every time I hear the name Roderick, though, I'm just imagining Roderick from
No.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I prefer when she calls him by his nickname, Rory. She teams up with Rory this night to go find her other diviner sisters. And they have to go into the scary world that she's never been a part of because she's always been at the cathedral. And this knight has zero respect for her dreams, for her visions, for her church. He doesn't give a shit about any of it, truly. There's a little bit of an enemies to lovers thing going on here. And also lots of like underground themes of religious trauma that I think we're getting into. If you're into that kind of thing.
So far, I'm having a really, really great time. The writing is amazing, really sophisticated storytelling, but it's also hilarious. And I feel like having those two things in a book is kind of hard to do, but Rachel Gillig is doing it. And she's doing it well. The story is fun, it's fast paced, the characters are amazing. This damn bat gargoyle is maybe the best character that I've like ever read about, the comedic relief.
Funniest little sidekick character I've maybe ever read. He's just calling everyone Bartholomew. I genuinely didn't think that a gothic fantasy could have me unironically laughing out loud. I am glad that this book picked up quickly because otherwise we would be struggling. But I'm gonna try to get my mind off 5 Seconds of Summer and focus on this book.
You can pry that gargoyle from my cold dead hands.
Need a beta bota butt.
Beta, 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 butt.
We have finished The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, and this book was so incredibly well written. I had such a great time reading this book. Between the magic systems, the world building, and the gothic themes, I thought this book was so unique, and I am so glad that Britt told us to read this book.
It's been a while since I've read a fantasy book with like a unique magic system that didn't confuse me. Because of Rachel Gillig's writing, there were times where I was confused but never lost. I also really liked all of the themes of how corrupt religious powerhouses can be very rooted in money, and how like when one powerhouse falls, it leaves this vacuum for other evil people to try and be another powerhouse. I'm very interested to see how this is tackled in the next book.
I'm also curious to see how the Bat Gargoyle plays out in the second book. He was by far the best character in this book. In my opinion, I feel maternal towards that damn gargoyle. So I'm really curious to see what happens to him in book 2. This is supposed to be a duology, and I personally love the concept of a duology. Never read one that I liked. I have faith in Rachel Gillig, so I do feel like she will deliver on this.
Because this is written so beautifully, it does feel very thought out and intentional. I'm hoping that follows through on the next one. Her writing is very gothic and romantic. I really love the vibe of this book, and it has a pretty epic fight scene at the end. I gauge a lot of those by like, oh, if I would like to see it on screen, if it would be like insane, and I really think this one would be. As far as the ending of this book goes, within the last like 50 pages, I could kind of see where it was going. But I will say, honorable mention to our MMC Rory. He's very devoted. That is a man who yearns.
I think I would rate this book a solid 4 stars.
I agree, 4 stars.
4 stars, a good time. Huge shout out and thank you to Britt for recommending this book. And
On to the next.
the next book we're reading was recommended to us by the hosts of Book Bits podcast, Cassie and Emily.
Cassie and Emily are also longtime book besties that have a podcast like we do. But I would say they have a wider genre range and like author ranges that they'll read, and we have not read one of their recommendations yet. So eagerly, they recommended
Daggermouth by H.M. Wolf.
True enemies to lovers. Like when people talk about like Xaden and Fourth being like enemies to lovers, like that is like child's play.
Love triangle. It's not even just the enemies to lovers. Like you have a friends to lovers type of situation as well.
safe to say, I'm pumped as hell for a dystopian enemies to lovers romance. Hey, did you know it has a picture of the city?
Wait, you have to sit up a little.
Okay, where were we?
Oh! He was giving birth to the function.
Now, why the fuck did this guy wake up at 4 a.m. just to what? Stand naked in the room for 5 minutes?
And walk in circles for 17 minutes straight.
I do feel like Jaeger's gonna end up being like, oh yeah.
Let me in.
We're almost halfway through Daggermouth, and oh my god.
I'm showing this like you can see the cover.
I'm obsessed with this book. Thank you, Cassie and Emily.
I can't even do this. I need to do this. That's how much I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
This is a dystopian enemies to lovers romance set in this like broken down city of Newfound Haven, where there's a capital, a middle ring, and then everything else that is like the slums. It follows Shadira Kale, an assassin who's hired to kill the heir of this big capital city, but she absolutely botches it and actually ends up being engaged to said heir, Grayson Cyril.
I have a very strong sneaking suspicion that this is going to become a holy grail book for me. I will for sure be buying a physical copy as a trophy for when for when we, as a little treat. Something about dystopian books really just get me going. The overall like vibe is giving kind of Hunger Games. Like I'm imagining the heart, the capital, looking like the capital in the Hunger Games, but then everything on the outer rings kind of giving Divergent vibes. But also I'm getting some Crescent City and Shatter Me vibes as well. And there's just something about a dystopian world that is always gonna get me. I'm a dystopian girl at my core.
Cassie and Emily were really on the nose with saying this was a true enemies to lovers because Grayson and Shadira are so truly violent towards each other. We're almost halfway in and they still insanely hate each other. However, there's a little maybe type of sometime kind of friendship happening between Lyria, Grayson's sister, and Shadira. And I will say I've seen some fan art, and I'm ready for that friendship to get rolling because it's gonna be iconic.
Ready for it to evolve. Siri Q Evolve by 5 Seconds of Summer. Shadira is a phenomenal FMC. She is incredible. I love her. She is hilarious and iconic. As far as the male characters go, Jameson and Grayson are great and they're fine or whatever. But Callum? Girl, Callum? Girl.
Callum is really truly a male character that I can get behind. I'm eating that shit up. I will tell you what. This is a very interesting book to be reading, especially this close to the 4th of July, if you know what I mean. Especially after reading The Night and the Moth. This is turning out to be a very dystopian, rebellion-led kind of reading week. And I think it's only fitting.
We do not have an audiobook for this book because the audiobook doesn't exist yet. So we haven't been able to listen, but we have still been going through it at a rabid animal pace. I think that speaks to how good it is. Not that we're illiterate, we can read without an audiobook, but
it keeps us at the same pace. For everybody who always asks in our comment section, typically we are listening to an audiobook whilst reading together. This one, we've been doing some popcorn reading. We've been reading with our eyeballs separately and then reconvening. I think the second half of this book is about to for real go off the rails. So we're gonna get into.
And I know that's right.
And goodbye. I know that's right. Goodbye.
So much faster than me.
Pissing me off, bro. She wasn't who he thought.
Okay, you murder people for a living. Oh my god.
You're crying?
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Cassie, Emily,
When I find you, Goosies!
we finished Daggermouth, and this is a true adult dystopian romance. Got enemies to lovers, there's some spice in there, which, hey, didn't disappoint. But really, truly, at its core, this is a book about what men will do when given too much unchecked power. No magic systems, no, oh, this guy just went missing. Real dystopian story.
Daggermouth might have one of the best plot twists reveals ever. The characters were so well written. I really, really, really liked the fact that it was in third person, but we did get parts from different characters, and I really enjoyed getting to see Maximus's point of view because it provided so much insight on how men with unchecked power really truly do think. And I think it did it really well, or really explained what is driving their motivations to why they're being so terrible. It's misogyny, by the way. It's misogyny. That's what makes men terrible.
And it shows exactly how the top percentage of a corrupt government system will be playing a game that literally nobody else knows they're playing. While there are some very strong male characters that I really liked, and I really liked the foundation of the rebellion, what really got me was the deep-rooted sisterhood and unity of women written into this book and female rage written into this book, where it's women across all of these factions of this city really showed up and showed out. Just the way that women were written in this as a whole immediately puts it on my holy grail shelf with a new favorite author.
Daggermouth is a feminist masterpiece. It made me feel crazy. Women are powerful, women are strong, women are better than men. Women are, you guys know the gist when it comes to me and how I think about women versus men. Genuinely maybe one of my new favorite books.
Cassie and Emily could not have recommended a better book for us.
With all of that being said, obviously it's a 5-star book.
Who's surprised? 6 stars if we could.
6 stars if we could.
And the fact that we have to wait a year for the second one to come out, hey, Cassie, Emily, I am mad at you for that one.
Yeah, that's the only qualm that I have with this book right now is where the fuck is the rest?
Yeah, I guess it's time to move on to the next one somehow.
Next book. The next book expert is our sweet friend Michaela.
We've been following her basically since the beginning of our Bookstagram. She does a lot more like dark romance, Boys of Tommen, heavy contemporary stuff. It's ironic that she is one of the main reasons we started reading Boys of Tommen as well, because the book that she recommended
is Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh. The most painful book I ever read, and I like making my friends read painful books with me, so if I hurt, you hurt.
This is our last book in the Boys of Tommen series, and if rumors are true, the most heartbreaking.
Safe to say I'm worried.
We're gonna be feeling some kind of way about this book. I can already feel it. Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna read.
This is a really hard book to read.
That hurt so bad. Oh, I was crying.
Are you okay? Oh my God! Bitch, are you okay? Holy fuck! Okay, we're 30% through Releasing 10 by Chloe Walsh, and
This isn't fun.
Yeah.
It's not a great time.
we knew this was going to be hard. If you haven't read it, technically it is a sports romance series, but really it's a contemporary drama. There's a lot of heavy themes. We've mentioned this in many of our other videos as we've been reading this series. In this one specifically, there's heavy themes that cannot be even spoken about on the internet, and this book follows Lizzie and Huey. Needless to say, we knew it was going to be bad. It's like the hardest book to get through by far, but Chloe Walsh's writing is so incredibly beautifully done.
You care about the characters so deeply. You care about the story so much. You feel attached to them. You kind of feel like in the friend group.
The part that's devastating about it, which I think is in theme with the other books we've been reading in this video, is that there's a lot of themes that are so dark, specifically in the lives of women and girls, but they're not unrealistic.
It's the same thing that like I really felt during Binding and Keeping 13, where it's like having to tap back into the mindset of being 16, not experiencing the things that Lizzie has experienced, but hearing about it, and you remember how it feels to be that age, so then just to add all of this trauma on top of it, it's sickening.
Yeah, and the Boys of Tommen series bounces back and forth through timelines depending on the book. So we know her timeline does not catch up to the present day, and we are only getting Lizzie's backstory right now, and it's gut-wrenching because we know this one at least is not gonna have like a happy ending. I'm glad we're reading it while Maddie's still living with me, because reading this alone, I don't think I could get through it. We're going to the gym right now. I'm gonna decompress a little bit.
We're touching grass.
Very necessary with the Boys of Tommen. You have got to
To get outside and see the sun, or else you will combust.
Yeah. We finished Releasing 10. We've read this entire series throughout other YouTube videos, so I don't think it's surprising when we say that we absolutely loved it. This one though hit a little differently in comparison to the rest of the books in this series. It has such heavy topics, in my opinion, the heaviest of the series so far, and the most complex character dynamics and relationships. I didn't think I would have ever been able to read a book like this had Chloe Walsh not written it as well as she did.
Her way of writing is so special because she is so good at writing these complex characters and writing these horrible, terrible, awful events, but also making you emotionally attached to them and you can't, like, physically cannot put the book down. It was hard to get through. But at the same time, I honestly think it might be harder to separate myself from the book because I genuinely feel like I'm in this friend group. I'm also a 17-year-old in 2005. I have a parasocial relationship with these characters and it's really gonna be hard to separate myself from the series now that we have no more.
I agree, because truly the thing about Lizzie's story specifically is that there's no real justice because we don't have the second book. But I think that's why it's such a disservice when people say like, oh, because it's fiction, it's fake. Because yes, it's technically fiction, but is it fake? The way Chloe Walsh can write topics that are so weighted, and she writes them in such a beautiful way, specifically about little girls and teenage girls turning into a woman and being a woman. It's why this series is so important to so many book girls, because she's covering feelings and emotions that women have felt throughout history. So it's not just a silly romance about rugby players and girls in 2005 Ireland.
We did know some spoilers going into this, but nothing could have prepared me for how bad it actually was. I thought I knew a spoiler, and then, oh, it was actually 20 times worse than what I could have ever even imagined in my head. I knew I didn't like Mark Allen the first time he was mentioned.
Yeah.
Nothing could have prepared me for how sick and vile his character really truly is. Chloe knows how to write a villain, that's for sure. She knows how to write a terrible man. I really hope that we get some kind of happy ending, reprieve, anything in the next book.
Overall though, big shout out to Mick for recommending this book. If you couldn't tell before, this book is not for the faint of heart, but for us, definitely 5 stars. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars.
I do, however, feel like I need a palate cleanser because this week has had a theme. There's been a lot of misogyny. There's been a lot of patriarchy. There's been a lot of corrupt governments. There's been
Corrupt justice systems.
There's been a lot of heavy that feels really real, but I am really glad that we took a week to read recommendations, throwing it back to, at its core, what BookTube, Book Talk, Bookstagram is supposed to be. Huge shout out and huge thank you to Britt, Cassie, Emily, and Mick for these incredible recommendations.
All of their socials are going to be linked in the description. And just for Mick, Britt, Cassie, and Emily, thank you guys. We love you so much.
The book community. What is the book community?
Put your sneakers on! Put your sneakers on!
Starting our, yeah, so that's actually not how I was going to start this at all.
It's your favorite boy band.
That's why my head's so big. So don't even think about commenting about how big my forehead is. It's just because I'm smarter than you.
Everybody comment a melon.
Don't comment about the melon, the melon, the melon,
Melon, the melon!
Take a shot every time we go, what? Oh my God. Can you say it? What is happening to you right now?
I'm doing the Connor story thing where he goes, I'm sorry.
I'm not playing on my phone. I'm taking care of business.
Her ears are the only thing visible.
Girl, mocha girl. That's a mocha she's calling me.
Mocha girl. Truly what like blew my little socks off is, I don't even remember what I was saying.
What blew my little socks off? Is that a real
Blew my
saying?
socks off?
Is that a saying?
No, he stood up from bed at 4 a.m., stood naked in the moonlight. Why? And then took a scalding hot shower for, I'm assuming, at least an hour because this motherfucker's wasted 120 minutes. And then took an entire inventory of his apartment.
Oh, that's working. What did it good for me?
Why did I do it?
Redeeming 10.
That's not what that book is called.
That's not.
You don't get to hold the book because you always wail it around and flail it around all over the place. So I'm actually just gonna hold it.
I just have to say I agree. You guys know we agree with each other. This is really an echo chamber going on.